Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Blue Jackets. It's a fun Blue Jackets themed podcast. My name is Kevin, and joining me tonight is my co-host Hefty Duck. And as always, we always invite people to come on the show. Whether that happens or not, that's a different story. Maybe we'll get a fun surprise like we have from like Harry or Ian or someone else. But anyways, a lot of stuff going on in the Blue Jackets world. The Blue Jackets have played 3 games since our last show, and Hefty Duck and I, realistically, should be on this show right now talking to you about how the Blue Jackets won 3 games. But it didn't work out that way because the Blue Jackets kind of pooped their pants there and unfortunately, blew 2 of those games. But they got a big win against the Buffalo Sabres 5-1. And even in those games where they blew it, there's still some good moments in those games, and we're going to talk about it. Zach Werenski, Blue Jackets defenseman Zach Werenski, has been named to Team USA for the Olympics this upcoming February. And we're going to talk about that. Blue Jackets prospect Jackson Smith and Caden Lindstrom have scored some goals. We'll show you that and so much more. Let's get going, everyone. Welcome to the show.
Oh, yeah. Welcome in, everybody. Hope everyone has had a good new year after having a pretty good Christmas. There's been a few years, first years, I haven't gone down for the New Year's game, and I kind of missed it. I think I have pucks from all the last years, but that's the way she goes. But yeah, 3 games to talk about tonight. We got some other real weird little news to talk to you about. Something, just a little bit associated. Oh wait, hold on. Before I even get into any of that, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Wherever you're watching from. If you're watching from Twitter, leave us a comment. If you're watching from YouTube, leave us a comment. We do try to talk about them. If you leave a comment, we can see it while we're live. So if you got something to say, want to talk some shit or whatever, want to get our opinion on something, ask away. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube. We are, we're not really on Facebook much, but also if you want to listen to us, you can find us anywhere that you want to listen to podcasts, Spotify, Google, Apple, wherever you're at, we're there. But yeah, just a little breaking news. It's not really breaking, but former Blue Jacket UFA Jack Johnson, he announced that he is retired officially from the NHL. So he has been hired as a scout for the Vancouver Canucks. Good luck to you, Jack Johnson. I think that that's a nice way to go for career path wise. I really wasn't. I don't know if he was trying to get signed by anyone else or if he was just trying to figure out if he wanted to keep playing or not. But I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all.
All right, and last thing before we get going, be sure to check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. Follow Union Blue Soldiers on all social media platforms. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. It's a fun Blue Jackets themed fan group that I run. We do a lot of fun stuff like marches and so much more. Check out Union Blue Soldiers.
Check it out.
Anyways, all right. So first things first, we're going to talk about this. I have been, as we Hefty Doc always and I always do, it's a little give and it's a little take. If it's the Blue Jackets or Ohio State or anyone else that we kind of care about, there's a little give and it's a little take. Where we give you something we like, and take where it's more of a constructive criticism, something that we don't like, and we're taking it from you, and we want you to be better about it. So this is both. This is a give and a take, and I'm going to put this up on the screen, which is this. We'll play the video, but first, some more background behind it. I have been to 3 Ohio State hockey games, all men. All men. I've not yet been able to go to the women's games. I want to, but haven't been able to work it out. But when you go to the Ohio State men's hockey game, I like, good games. They're fun. And they have the Ohio State band there. And the Ohio State band is playing music all during the entire game. Just like if you went to an Ohio State football game. However, though, there is one thing that does not happen, that should but doesn't, which is when Ohio State men's hockey scores a goal, they don't play the fight song. Instead, they rip off the New York Rangers goal horn, which in my opinion is very, 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 very stupid and lame. Why are you ripping off the Rangers goal horn? Play the fight song. You have a really good band there, Ohio State. Play the fight song. You have them play music during the entire game, except for when Ohio State scores a goal. Why are you doing that? Have them play the fight song. Good fight song, good band, good music. Do it. But when the Ohio State women's hockey team scores a goal, guess what happens? The Ohio State band plays music. They play the fight song. And I'm going to play that video. Okay, so did you hear that? Did you hear that? That is Ohio State playing their fight song when Ohio State women's hockey scores a goal. Okay? That's awesome. You should be doing that for the men. Why are you ripping off the Rangers goal horn when Ohio State men's hockey team scores a goal? Why are you ripping off the Rangers goal horn? Don't do that. That's very lame, very stupid. Play the Ohio State fight song just like you do for Ohio State women's hockey team. It's better that way. It helps with the college sports environment. You see it at a football game, and basketball, and any other sport, including the women's hockey. Why aren't you doing that for men's hockey? Instead, you should be playing Ohio State's fight song for men's hockey when they score a goal, just like the women. But you don't do that. You rip off the Rangers goal horn. Why? Why are you doing that? Lame, unacceptable. I want better.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't just even at least play a recording of it or something. Maybe the band's busy sometimes. I don't fucking know. That's ridiculous to me.
Because then I went down this rabbit hole. Huh, okay. What do other Big Ten schools do? Minnesota, they play their fight song when they score a goal. Wisconsin, they play their fight song when they score a goal. Michigan State, they play their fight song when they score a goal. Michigan, they play their fight song when they score a goal. Ohio State's men's hockey is the only team that doesn't do this. And I don't like this. We need to be like Ohio State women's hockey team and play the fight song when we score a goal. And that's all I have to say on this.
Oh, I hit that. Did you love the pizza? Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
So, anyways. Anyway. On to the next thing. So, okay, so, because Hefty Duck's an artist, and I like to get his thoughts on certain things. So, this past Saturday against the Sabres, it was Kids Takeover Day. And of course, they had some, graphics to go with that day that made it look like a kid made this, and I thought it was cool. And I'm not an artist, so take that for what it's worth. But I thought it looked cool, so we'll get Hefty Duck in here, who's the actual artist and what his thoughts are on this graphic.
No, that's pretty good. I maybe would have done a little bit more like doodles on there or something. Just my opinion. Yeah, no, that's all I got.
Okay, that's all you got. All right, then. So we'll go on to the next thing. We'll start talking about this. So Zach Werenski, he's been picked to play for Team USA for the Olympics in hockey this upcoming February when the Olympics is in Italy, which is awesome. Shout out to you, Zach Werenski, because you know what? Honestly, the way you've been playing the last 2 seasons, you have absolutely earned it. It's been great to see. Shout out to you, Zach Werenski. You've really played awesome. You've really stepped it up. You've always been a good player for the Blue Jackets, but you're just even better now. For whatever reason that is, you've just stepped it up. You are just so much better. Instead of 10 out of 10, you're a 20 out of 10 now. You're just that good, that much better, that much elite. You've become so Mr. Reliable on many things. Offense, defense, power play, penalty killing, block shots, need a goal in overtime, like whatever. It's you. You've really earned it. And that's a big reason why you are where you are right now, getting picked to play for Team USA. Also playing good in the Four Nations hockey tournament, as well as playing good in the World Hockey Championship. That also helped as well because you're playing on an international stage in those 2 events, and you're showing that you can play good. So when you do that and you put all those things together, you have earned a spot for Team USA playing hockey, and it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it, to see Zach Werenski not only represent USA for hockey, but he'll be also representing the Blue Jackets in the city of Columbus, and I love it. Great to see. So shout out to you, Zach Werenski. You've earned it. You've done awesome. Keep going.
Yeah, I think he is currently in like 3rd place for like the Norris like standings or whatever like that, like projected, obviously. But 2nd at this point. Nice. So yeah, he's looking at 2nd place, and then that's after missing a couple games too. It's not like he was out a ton, but missed 4 games I think total. Yeah.
No, but 4 games, he did miss games. 4 games. He did miss 4 games, and that may not seem like much, but sometimes that can make the difference when you're fighting for, a spot in that Norris Trophy race, or even trying to get it, because you could say one guy up against Werenski, and they're both good players, and they have either their numbers are even or just about the same, but one guy could play just 1 or 2 more games, and that could make a difference. So, like, missing 4 games, it does suck. It's not a lot, but it could make a difference when the season's over. Or maybe not. You don't know.
We are currently sitting right at the halfway point for the season. 41 games played. So we got a whole what we just went through the last few months. We got all that over again till the rest of the season. So he's currently sitting at 44 points in 37 games. 11 points ahead of Kirill Marchenko, who's 33 points in 37 games. And it kind of drops off a little bit more after that. The race for third's pretty close, though. Yeah, another crazy. I mean, if it's more than a point per game player right now, still at the halfway mark of the season. So, I mean, I'm looking for big stuff from Zach Werenski here the second half. Can't wait to watch the Olympic hockey here coming up too. That's gonna be real fun. And that's always neat too, especially like when you're these like good players, you get the experience of like being around other great players in other contexts other than just the NHL. And you know, you get to know these guys just a little bit better from your own country, and getting pick up some like little tips and tricks from all of them. I know some guys like train together in the summer. There's guys are friends all over the NHL. It doesn't matter like what team you're on sometimes, but um, just kind of neat to see how he'll be when he comes back from that.
Yep.
If he'll be a little bit worn out from having to play while everyone else gets a break, or if he'll be a little bit more refreshed with some new tips and tricks.
In some ways, missing those 4 games might actually be to his advantage because that's 4 less games that he's played compared to everyone else. He might be a little bit fresher, so it might be not as big of an issue.
Yeah. Anyway, good luck to you the rest of the next half of the season, Zach. We'll talk more about you here during these games here in a bit, I'm sure.
Yes. All right, on to the next thing. We're going to start talking about the games here. Like I said earlier on in the show, Hefty Duck and I should be on this show right now talking about how the Blue Jackets got 3 big wins, because that's what should be happening. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. The Blue Jackets pooped their pants and, screwed it up and blew 2 games that they should have won. It is what it is. I hate that, but we got to be honest with ourselves here. That's what it is. Starting off with the game against the Devils on New Year's Eve, Blue Jackets have a real good first period. They get a goal from Mason Marchment, one of the better first periods they played all season. That was a real good period there that the Blue Jackets played. They follow that up with another good period in the second period, playing a good game. You get a big goal from Charlie Coyle. You're up 2-0. And for the first 2 periods, you are playing a real good game. You get 2 big goals, Mason Marchment, Charlie Coyle. You're winning 2-0. You're playing a good game. You are giving the Devils nothing to shoot at. A real good defensive effort there. You are making it hard on them. Like, you keep playing that way, that would have been a 10 out of 10 game for me. And that would have been the first. That would have been the first game that on this show that I would have said 10 out of 10. We've never done that. The closest that we've got to is 9 out of 10, because usually in a game there's something that happens that where I have to ding a point. You give up a goal. You do something else that's stupid. We would have been there if you play like that. If you would have continued the way that you're playing that game, that would have been a 10 out of 10. However, though, for whatever reason, I do not understand why, the Blue Jackets decided that, they only wanted to play 40 minutes. You cannot do that. That is stupid, idiotic nonsense. Pathetic. Hockey's a 60-minute game. You need to play 60 minutes, not 40. Because what happened in the third period was stupid, idiotic, weak, pathetic nonsense. Disgusting. I hate it. Because within about a little over a minute span, all that hard work and all that blood, sweat, and tears and hard effort that you put into playing that good game and to get that 2-0 lead, it's gone. You flushed it down the toilet because just like that, you gave up 3 quick goals. And just like that, it changed the momentum of the game forever. Because after that, the Blue Jackets had some chances to put it away. They couldn't get it done. They couldn't get anything going. And they lose. Pathetic! Weak! Unacceptable! You do not do that. You do not do that. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. What should have been at least a 9 out of 10 game is now a 3 out of 10 game. I am taking that much points away for that disgusting, weak, idiotic, pathetic performance in the third period. Stupid. You do not do that. Just unacceptable. What should have been a good game what should have been at least 9 out of 10 is 3 out of 10. All that hard work and effort you put into getting those 2 goals and playing a good game in the first two periods, you pissed it away, and now it means nothing. 3 out of 10 game, you need to be better.
Yeah, that's pretty god awful. It's been the same thing all year. We've said it so many times. What was it? It took them. It was like over a month and a half's worth of games to not let the other team score in the third period for once. Holy shit! What we've been talking about, like what the hang up here is: conditioning, coaching, playing, skill level, something. And I mean, I'm gonna take a kind of a hard shot here, and let's talk a little bit about the lines here and there. And just so, I don't know. Sometimes the special teams, it just doesn't really make sense to me. We were talking a little bit about this beforehand too. It's real unfortunate that power play goal kind of set it off for the Devils. I mean, they won the game in 1 minute 56 seconds. They tied it in like 1. Like, I see that happen time and time again too. The other team comes out hot after a break. You get that first goal, boom, you have momentum now. And I get another quick goal. The Blue Jackets did it, then, a different night. You got to be so aware of that. I don't know, like, and it's at the beginning of the period, they should be pretty fresh coming out from that break. Like, obviously, you played 2 periods already, but like, you really should be at least somewhat fresh coming out.
Yeah.
So get off your heels. He's not good. Congrats to Mason Marchment for his first goal in Nationwide Arena as a Blue Jacket. He's had another goal in the arena as a player from the other team. Yeah. 2 out of 10. All like the first 2 periods, that was fantastic. 9 out of 10. It worked easy.
Yep.
Like you were saying. And 2 minutes. 2 minutes of just letting something slip your mind. Or what? I blew the game. One thing I want to take note of was the Blue Jackets not capitalizing on the power play. They're 0 for 3. So that would have helped too, just secure the win. No lead is safe this year.
No.
The Blue Jackets, they need as many possible goals as possible. It's just, ugh. Yeah, I mean, it won't be too much longer. About a month till they meet again for the last time this season. Blue Jackets will play in New Jersey on February 3rd. Yeah, I'm really bummed about this one. I don't have much to say,
No.
but I did mention Mason Marchment, so we can do a little positive something here before we go to the W. Goals doubled this season since being traded to the Blue Jackets. In the last 5 games, he has 7 points, and in 29 games for Seattle, he had 4 goals, 9 assists for 13 points. So he's already got 5 goals. That's one. Like I said, he just doubled his amount of goals for this year. 5 goals, 2 assists for 7 points. It's not a heater. Sometimes that's what you might need. I mean, maybe it'll work for Chinikov too. You get a new scenery, and just vibe with some different guys. Maybe, I don't know. New things are always exciting, and sometimes when you do something brand new, you can kind of reinvent yourself a little bit too when you're getting there. But yeah, everyone says, especially after we were talking about that shit last week, how big of a pest he is and how annoying he is, and how big a pain in the ass he's on ice. And yeah, when like someone like Brad Marchand's playing against your team, you hate him. It's a pain in the ass. When Brad Marchand is on the ice against the Blue Jackets, I want nothing more for him to be squashed. And then for him to be washed. That's it. But can I have a little respect for him being a good player? Yeah. I mean, he really gets in their heads well. And now that I'm seeing that too, fuck it, dude. I'm for it. As long as, not ending up in the box unnecessarily. I think Olivier does this really well too. He plays a very physical, hard style, but is not taking cheap shots, I don't know. We won't talk about last week again. We already got it all out then. But yeah. Anyway,
So
Marchman's a big dude. So congrats to you, man. Keep it up the good work. Hopefully that can continue on
the
next half of the season.
the last thing I will say about this is that just penalties, you don't want them to happen, but it's part of hockey, so it is what it is. The one thing about penalties I will not accept and I do not like is when it's lazy. You get called for a call when you just stop skating, when you just stand there and you try and hook, you try and get away, you try and get the puck away from the dude and you trip the dude. Like, sorry, that's unacceptable. You're gonna get called. Move your feet, move your feet, move your feet. Skate, 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 skate. You're not going to get called if you move your feet and if you skate. You're going to get, because if you don't move your feet, if you don't skate, you're going to get called because you're stuck flat-footed standing there. And that's what happened with the first goal is Kromarchenko, bad penalty. Bad penalty. You're just standing there. You're not moving your feet. You're not skating. And then you try getting the puck and you trip the dude because you're not moving your feet. Move your feet. That's not happening. So skate, 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 skate. Move your feet. I've seen that a little too much for my liking this season. But that's, besides the point. And then the second goal happens because the first goal. So you don't bad penalty, and you lose the face-off, and then you don't clear the net. Jet Greaves can't see crap. There's like 5 guys in front of him, and then he's trying to stand up so he can try and see what's going on there. And because he's standing up, a little squeaker goes between his legs, 5-hole, that under normal circumstances would not have happened. So it's just dumb all around. Win the face-off. And if you're not going to do that, get guys out of there so he can see. That was a preventable goal. Don't do the penalty, but if you do that, win the face-off. And if you don't do that, get guys out so he can see it. But you didn't do any of that. Scored on. And then the second goal, I can't remember if it was second goal or third goal. But point is, Jet Greaves, you've been an awesome player for the Blue Jackets. You really have. You really stepped it up. You've played awesome. There's games that the Blue Jackets have won because of Jet Greaves. Having said that, you really need to fix this high thing immediately. It needs to be fixed because the book is now out on you. Teams are watching the tape, and they're seeing what you're good at. They're seeing what you're bad at. And the unfortunate reality is that you are bad at stopping shots up high. Part of that, it's not necessarily your fault because you're a smaller dude. And when you're a smaller dude, you're going to have more trouble, guarding the top part of the net. Having said that, you still have to find a way around that. You can't keep doing this. Otherwise, teams are just going to pick you apart when they shoot up high. And sometimes when you have a game where it's a good competitive game between two teams, sometimes little stuff like that can make all of the difference in the world, or one thing that stands out. It could be your defense isn't very good. Your offense isn't very good. Your penalty kill or power play isn't very good. Or it could be the goalie has a weak spot and he can't stop it or has difficulty trying. It's little things like that that can make the difference. And I would hate for the Blue Jackets to lose. Well, they've already lost a game, but in the future, I would hate that the Blue Jackets would lose a game, unfortunately, because they're picking on Jack Greaves by shooting up high, and he really can't do anything to stop it. So, not a goalie expert or a goalie coach, but even I could see it like something needs to be done there. You need to find a way to fix that so that you're not just getting picked on and exposed, because if you don't, it's going to be a long day. That needs to be fixed. You just can't keep having that weakness where teams just keep shooting high on you, and it's basically an automatic goal.
Yeah, it's to the point now too where like I heard Jody Shelley talking about it yesterday during the Penguins game. And, if the announcers are saying that on air, like I feel like there is a decent amount of analysis like during the game and from experts like on hockey broadcasts in general, but they don't necessarily go super deep into things sometimes.
Yeah.
That's more for like the niche kind of audience, maybe you're out there watching replays and watching the whole game replays like we do sometimes. But if the color commentary is saying something live on air about it, it's super obvious. It's just super because so what was said even was I think he was talking about Malkin and Letang and how they're missing the goalpost high. And he's like, I've been seeing that quite a lot lately. A lot of guys are shooting high up on Greaves. And it's something that we've been talking on the show for a bit about. It is what it is. He's a fantastic goaltender. Like, doing a great job this year. I ain't ragging on him for that. But there is that obvious spot that's weak. Like with Elvis Merzlikins, we know glove side. Well, that's not a physical attribute that is stopping him doing glove side. That is, I mean, maybe his arm gets tired. I don't know, but it's a heavy glove. Or maybe that's just a preference he has there. But not ripping on you because you're short at all. I mean, you can see like he covers the goal really well when he's like down and like they have their pads like flat against the ground. But it is people ripping shots up high, and then boom, you go up high, 5-hole. And that's what we're starting to see a little bit with him. The other thing too is I'm kind of a little bit worried that he's going to be injured. The 2 games after this game we're about to talk about, he started then too. He started 6 games in a row, including 2 back-to-backs, a few days apart. Well, like, just because he can doesn't mean he should.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you get injured. That's how you get injuries. You get tired too. I can only imagine like how tiring that could possibly be. Like Elvis hasn't played since like I don't know, like December 20th or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The Ducks game, and
the Ducks game. And I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with that. Like I think Jet is doing the best he can. But if you keep having to start game after game after game, especially with the back-to-backs, dude, what's going on there? Why are you doing this? I guess if there's like a better explanation for that, because I feel like we're kind of left in the dark.
No, because the thing is, it's like, is Elvis Merzlikins perfect? No. He has games where he looks awful. He has games where he gives up a goal or two that he shouldn't, but he does it anyway. And the Blue Jackets lose because of that and other reasons. But on the flip side of that, Elvis Merzlikins has games where he's awesome. He's outstanding. He really shines. He makes a big save to keep the Blue Jackets in the game. There are games where the Blue Jackets win in part because of Elvis Merzlikins. The outdoor game is an example of that. There's other games too. And Elvis Merzlikins, he's really good in shootouts. I don't understand this, but like he's like top tier God mode, like a cheat code in the shootouts, where for whatever reason he just turns to ridiculously good, where you basically can't score on him, and he makes all the big saves. And then the Blue Jackets win in the shootout in part because of Elvis Merzlikins. So, and last 2 seasons he's been much better compared to what he used to be. So it's like, I understand Jack Greaves is playing really good and like he's the guy. I get that. You just can't keep playing him though. You don't want to run him down into the dirt and tire him out. There's going to be a time in the season where the Blue Jackets are going to really, really need Jack Greaves. And you don't want to be in a spot to where you can't play him because you tired him out. Like, you got to play Elvis Merzlikins every so often. You just have to. If you're going to do this thing where Jack Greaves gets like 99% of the games, fine. Then at minimum, Elvis Merzlikins needs to get a back-to-back game at least. At least. That's what needs to happen, in my opinion. You can't just keep doing this thing where you keep playing Jack Greaves. Like, at some point, Elvis Merzlikins needs to play. He's shown he can do it. And also, by not playing him, we're just wasting, his over $5 million contract. Like, you need to play him at some point. So stop. You need to stop playing Jack Greaves to a certain extent. Give Elvis Merzlikins a game or two. He's shown he can do it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, he had one other slightly worse game than this, but he went from tying his best game of the season with a .970 save percentage against Buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay. Letting 1 goal in for 33 shots, then them winning that game 5-1. He went so .970 save percentage to an .884, which is his worst this year was a .833. .884 is his like. He's had a couple of rough ones. That third worst game of the season. So, but that's his 6th start in a row too. I mean, that's what happens. That's what's going to happen. They score 5 against him. Granted, it's not like every single goal was his fault. In fact, like the game was going pretty. Whatever. We'll talk about that game in a bit. But yeah, you just see him get worn out. That's what's going to happen.
No. So, anyways, on to the next game. This is the one game that did good, and we get to talk a lot of good stuff about this. So now, first period starts out good. You're playing a good game. You get a big goal from Denton Matejchuk. And for a good chunk of that period, you're playing a good game. 9 out of 10 period. You do give up the goal there because bad turnover, brain fart moment, and you don't get it out. When you have a bad turnover with the brain fart moment and you can't get it out, you're going to get scored on, and that's what happened. Other than that, that was a 9 out of 10 first period for the Blue Jackets. It was that good. Now, we get to the second and first period, you have a 3-goal first period. That's a big reason why you win this game, because you have a 3-goal first period. 9 out of 10 first period, pretty good. Other than giving up the goal there, everything else was good about that first period. Second period, that was good too. You get another goal, you add on to that lead, you play a good period. For generally speaking, from my perspective, not giving the Sabres much to shoot at. Good second period. Third period, another good period. You get a goal from Cole Sillinger. It's 5-1, and you play a good game. You other than that one goal, for the most part, didn't really give Buffalo nothing. And for that is why it is one of the best games you played all season long. It's a 9 out of 10 for me. Nicely done, Blue Jackets.
Yeah, pretty solid game overall. What a contrast. I mean, to be fair, like 2/3 of that New Jersey game was pretty good. And other than those goals, they played fairly well. Anyway, but just a couple of huge goals to start this game out. Denton Matejchuk getting a goal 3 minutes into the game. Fantastic. Love seeing that. Yeah, he just sauced it in like upper left corner. Just right over the shoulder of Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. But Josh Stone came back, tied it up 1-1 with a little squeaker by. But then Brennan Gaunt's showing up huge. Gaunt's is I haven't seen him like a whole ton this year. In fact, let me see. Where is his points? Here we go. 17 games this season out of 41 for the NHL played. 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points. Pretty solid showing up for him on the shorthand. It was a nice breakaway. Pretty solid. That's the wrong game. There we go. Bronkov with a solid goal there in the first period too. So the majority of the scoring for the game was first period. Nice little tip in, squeaked by just over the line. Buffalo tried to keep it out, but ref saw it over the line already. So Matthew Olivier coming in with a nice goal in the second, and then Cole Sillinger rounding out the end with the empty net goal. He seems to be the empty net goal guy here lately. I think it's like the last two empty net goals have been him. Bunch of penalties in the first period. You know, a lot of it was pretty equal. A lot of it was pretty even, I think. Jackets 0 for 1 on the power play, and let's talk about the penalty kill because Buffalo is 0 for 5 on the power play. That could have broke the game.
Yeah.
That could have make or break the game. The penalty kill did their job, and that's some ways very lucky because we haven't seen that this whole year. You got to stay out the box. That's the easiest way to kill a penalty is to not take one.
Right.
So cheesy, but it's true. And so got a little lucky with that yesterday. The third. That was 2 days ago. Stupid little penalties too, like the hooking, the roughings, whatever. More hooking, some dumb cross checking here and there, just little ticky tacky shit. You can clean up, but what a showing by Jet Greaves, a 970 save percentage. He saved 32 of 33 shots on goal, and yeah, definitely would have loved to have seen him get that shutout, but it happens. When you let the other team take 33 shots, it's going to happen. That's the way she goes. But yeah, I mean, I'll give this one a solid 8 out of 10.
Yeah. Another thing I'm going to say about this, it's just strategically, I don't get this. I thought this was stupid, and very idiotic from Buffalo's standpoint. But it was just like a brain fart moment where you're in the third period, just over 9 minutes to go. Theoretically, yeah, you're down 4-1, but you still have a lot of time where you could score some goals to come back. Like it is a possibility. I know the Blue Jackets haven't been very good at holding leads and blowing leads, but this is not just a Blue Jackets thing. You see this all over in hockey this year, where a team has a 1 goal, 2 goal, 3 goal lead, and they blow it for whatever reason. That's just how it is. So it's not totally. So you're down 4-1, a little over 9 minutes to go in the game. Like it's within reason how things are going this season. That you still could come back to win this, but for whatever reason, Buffalo had a stupid, idiotic brain fart moment, and they decided to pull their goalie with over 9 minutes to go, and then the Blue Jackets scored, and now it's 5-1, and you basically made it that much harder at that point. And looking back on it, that was kind of the game right there. I just thought that was so, from Buffalo's perspective, strategically, that was so stupid and idiotic. Like, what are you doing? Why are you pulling the goalie that early? It's too soon. I don't get it. So, I get it. I'm okay with it because the Blue Jackets benefited from it. You take the goal, but it's just like strategically, that was not very smart to do that. It just wasn't.
I think it had to do with how many goals they needed to get. Because if you need 1 goal, yeah, you're gonna wait till about the last minute to pull, like last 2 minutes, realistically. But they needed 4 goals to come back. Or, I'm sorry, 3 goals. to come back for the tie.
But
I'm just playing devil's advocate here. That's the
I
only
get
reason
it,
why I
but
would think of that.
but that's still too early. That is still too early to be pulling. Sorry. Still too early to be pulling.
If you're gonna pull that early, why not just start the period with
Right.
fucking 6 skaters?
It's too
If
early.
you're down that bad, fuck it.
I'm sorry. It's just too early. Usually, you wait till at least 4 minutes. Then you can make the argument to pull. But oh well, it benefited the Blue Jackets in the end. So I'm not going to complain too much about it. So overall, that was a good game. That was just so fun to watch. And the thing is, for those 4 games that Zach Werenski was not playing for the Blue Jackets, there is something positive that the Blue Jackets learned from this, which is it's almost as if they, to a certain extent, they kind of took Zach Werenski for granted. Can't necessarily blame him to a certain extent because Zach Werenski is so good in everything: offense, defense, power play, penalty kill. He blocks shots. Everything that you could want, he does. He's a minute muncher, a horse. The dude plays 20, 30 minutes a night like it's nothing. It doesn't bug him. And he'll go out there the next shift and he's good to go. Not everyone can say that. There's just so many things that he does well. But perhaps you took him for granted. It's like, it's okay. He'll get that. But you can't always think like that. And without Zach Werenski in the lineup for those 4 games, it made them realize that you can't always count on him. You just have to just play really good defensively because you don't have him. You cannot afford to make a dumb mistake. Sure, maybe every once in a while you make a dumb mistake, but Zach Werenski's right there to help you out. You can't always do that. And those 4 games he wasn't there, they realized we need to just, screw it. We need to just lock it down defensively, play good, tight checking hockey, do not give them anything to shoot at, and make it hard on them. And in those 4 games, that's what we saw. And in part, that's why the Blue Jackets, there are many reasons why, but that's a big reason why the Blue Jackets went 3-1 in those 4 games without Zach Werenski. And then you look at that game against Buffalo when they won 5-1, that same attitude, that same mindset that you saw them have in those 4 games without Zach Werenski, it carried over to the game against Buffalo, where defensively, minus that 1 goal, it was awesome. It was good, tight checking defense, keeping everything in front of you. They didn't really give Buffalo much to shoot at. That just same type of style of defense that you played was awesome. And that's what you have to play now. Zach Werenski's back. You need to play like that. Because we've seen you do it. When you do it, you are hard to beat. You're a pain in the ass to play against. You need to do that consistently. Because you play good defense, good tight checking defense. You don't really give the other team to shoot at. You get it out. It allows you to just consistently put the pressure on, build good shifts, grind it out in the offensive zone, put the pressure on, and eventually you do score a goal or 2 when you keep doing that. That's what needs to be done. When you don't do that, you see what happens, where they don't play very good and they lose. Stupid brain fart mistakes and all this other stuff. So just carry that positive energy momentum on how you played really good defensively in those 4 games without Zach Werenski and in the game against Buffalo from now on. You do that, you're going to be good to go.
Yeah, buddy. I love seeing their penalty kill actually killing.
And that's another thing. Like, it started out bad, but as the season went along, it's been really good. And it's been one of the strengths that the Blue Jackets have this season. They are good at penalty killing. Now, you don't want to keep doing penalties and kind of hanging them out to dry because eventually that's going to come back to hurt you. But even if you put that off to the side, like the penalty kill, it's been like really good. And that's great to see. Heck, you even got some shorthanded goals out of it. Brandon Gaunce, he's only scored 2 goals this season with the Blue Jackets, and both of them are shorthanded goals. I guess that's what he does. He doesn't score goals any other way this season, but he's really good at scoring shorthanded goals. So that's great to see. So like the penalty kill is good. I know at times the Blue Jackets are playing awful, and it doesn't seem like things are going well, and it's a very good season. But it's not as bad as you think it is. It's somewhere in the middle, because there are moments this season when the Blue Jackets look awesome, where they play good and they get the job done. It's just consistency. They have these stupid, weak, idiotic, pathetic moments where they look terrible, they play bad, and it screws them. And that's why they lose. And they need to stop doing that. But when they play good, they play so good. And it's a big reason why they win the game. They just do that more consistently. They're good to go. They're good to go. They just need to do that.
Agreed.
All right. On to the next game against Pittsburgh. So it starts out bad. You awful in the first period. You're not playing very good. You give up a goal in part because you don't get it out, and you just let Pittsburgh just kind of hang in their offensive zone and put shots on net, and eventually they score. Like, you can't do that. That's bad. But shortly after that, you get a big goal to tie the game. Awesome. And then from that point on, that was a 9 out of 10 first period, because you get 2 more goals. So a 3-goal first period. Awesome. 9 out of 10 first period. You give up a goal, but other than that, everything else was good. 9 out of 10 first period. Second period, you get a big goal to make it 4-1 from Zach Werenski. And that was a 9 out of 10 period, because you're playing pretty good there. The only thing you did bad in that period, you gave up a goal. And it's not only bad that you gave up a goal, it's how you did it. This is a stupid, pathetic, idiotic brain fart moment. The unfortunate reality, we say this time and time again, every time we do a show, there's at least one stupid, idiotic moment that's a brain fart. It didn't have to be like that, but you did it anyways, which is turnovers are going to happen. You don't want to do it, but it's going to happen. It's part of hockey. So you got to try your best to try and minimize it. Or if you turn over the puck, make sure it's not in a bad area of the ice. But unfortunately, it was in a bad area of the ice. Why are you doing a no-look backhand pass to the middle of the ice? That is stupid and idiotic. Pathetic. You don't do that. That is a no-no. No. Do not do that. But you did it anyways. And look what happens. Stuff like that 9 times out of 10, when you do a no-look behind the back pass to the middle of the ice in your defensive zone, 9 times out of 10, it gets picked off and it's in the back of your net. Stupid, idiotic, pathetic. Don't do that. You cost yourself a goal there. But other than that goal, you played a good period. 9 out of 10. You get a goal there. 9 out of 10 period, other than that goal there. Now, this is where it goes down the toilet. This is where it is stupid and idiotic and unacceptable. You do not play like that. You're playing a good game, and for whatever reason, you stop playing. Hockey's a 60-minute game. You need to play 60 minutes, not 40. Stupid! Pathetic! You do not do that. You do not do that. It just went down the toilet after that. Dmitry Voronkov lazy penalty. You're not moving. It's a tripping call because you're not moving your feet. Move your feet. Move your feet. Skate, 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 skate. If you do that, you're not going to get called. But you didn't do that. You're just standing there, not moving your feet, and you get called for tripping. And then they get scored on. The Blue Jackets get scored on. Stupid. And once again, no disrespect to you, Jet Greaves, but the truth is you got exposed again because you're not very good at, defending goals up high. You get scored on up high because it is what it is. You're not very good at that. So your weakness got exposed again. And then the fourth goal, idiotic. It really looked like you were going to win that game because you know what? For the most part, you didn't give nothing. You didn't really give Pittsburgh nothing to shoot at. And anytime they had a chance, you had a chance to get it out. You got it out. You were playing a good game there. You were playing 6-on-5 on how it should be. Is that you're going to be outnumbered, but you try your best to play good defense and don't really give them much to shoot at. You, in that situation, you want it so that you have to make them pass the puck. Every time you pass the puck and you're not shooting it, you are making them kill time off the clock. And when you are in a situation like that, every little second is so important, so precious, because you don't have a lot of time to play with. Every second that goes by, it gets harder and harder for you to win. And you were doing exactly just that. You were playing a good game, good defensively, good 6-on-5. You were really not giving them much to shoot at. You were making Pittsburgh go pass, trying to find that shot so that they could shoot it because there was nothing to shoot at. And then multiple times, you were able to get it out. And every time you get it out, that is a win because you make them go get that puck and bring it back in. And every time you make them do that, that takes time off the clock. That is to their disadvantage, to your advantage. And every time you do that, where you make them get the puck, where you get the puck out and you make them go get it, they have to bring it back in, and it takes some time for them to set it up again. That takes more time off the clock, and your chance of winning goes up. Their chance of winning goes down. You're doing a good job getting it out. But then the one time you don't get it out, it bites you in the ass because a guy's left wide open and he shoots and scores. Stupid, idiotic, weak, pathetic nonsense. Unacceptable. So, still tied. It's tied. It goes to overtime. And honestly, that was like a 1 out of 10 overtime period. Awful. Werenski and had a chance to shoot, and he couldn't put it away. Other chances to score, they couldn't do it. And then, Pittsburgh scores, which is stupid and idiotic, but a bad line change leads to leaving Sidney Crosby wide open on a breakaway. And he shoots and scores. You cannot do that. That is unacceptable. You cannot do that. Every team has a guy or two that under no circumstance cannot have the puck. For the Penguins, it's Sidney Crosby. You do not let him have the puck. Let someone else have the puck. For the Blue Jackets, I would say it's guys like Adam Fantilli, Kirill Marchenko, or Zach Werenski. Those are their guys that you don't want them to have the puck. But unfortunately, Sidney Crosby gets the puck because of a bad line change. He's left wide open on a breakaway in overtime. He shoots and scores. And that right there is unacceptable. And that right there, all that hard work, all that blood, sweat, and tears, all that effort that you put into that game, to play a good game, to be winning 4-1, to put yourself in a position where you should be winning that game. It means nothing now because you pissed it away. Because stupid, idiotic nonsense, horrible play, terrible. What should have been at least an 8, 9 out of 10 is now a 2 out of 10. I am downgrading it that much. Stupid, idiotic nonsense. Unacceptable. 2 out of 10. The Blue Jackets need to do better. You're muted.
Thanks. Good call. Good call. As I was saying, that was piss poor. Yeah, it's really sad to see. Blue Jackets had finally beat Pittsburgh in their house, but then let them win in in Nationwide Arena, and it always chaps my ass a little bit, just because like you see all of them fans standing up and you can hear them audibly. Especially because, there's no goal horn, there's no music going on or anything like that. All I hear is cheering, and it's like, it's not even as bad when Detroit's in town. Like Detroit Red Wings fans are fine. It's whatever. Just the Pittsburgh fans. Anyway, yeah, first period. Giving up that first goal was always tough, but they did come back, and then when they scored, they did exactly what happened to them the other night. They scored 2 quick goals. That was a huge jump in momentum for them. And then Marchenko 10 minutes later scoring near the end of the first period. Love seeing it. Werenski just adding to his total again. First thing in the second period, once again, that gives you so much momentum going in. Great first 2 periods. You let in the 1 goal, you let in 2 goals. You're still, you're still cruising through here pretty good, going pretty good. Overall, solid. I give that, 7 out to 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, somewhere in there. Like, pretty good. Like, you gave up 2 goals, or it'd be higher. But third period comes around, and why you fall apart again? It's the Blue Jackets are allergic to the third period. Like, so bad. We've already talked about this show, so I'm not gonna launch into it and rant about it a bunch anymore. But damn, that's crazy. Yeah, the back-to-back goals were great. But let's talk about the last goal of the regular time. Ricard Raquel scoring for the Penguins here. So you see here, the Penguins have pulled their goaltender. So they have 6 skaters on the ice against the Blue Jackets 5. That puts this in a somewhat similar scenario to a penalty kill. Obviously, the Penguins are going to be a little bit more turtly in the back because there's no goaltender. So they're going to, there's going to be that high presence at the top of their offensive zone. So we're going to see a modified diamond here. Usually it's probably going to be like a 2 and 3 or something like that. So it'd be more like a 2-2-1 or some shit like that, kind of technically somewhere in between there. Then you can see this shaping up right here on the ice. And I'm not going to play the whole clip because whatever, but I'm going to show you what happens here. So we go from this position. We're going to skip forward just a few seconds. So when it goes up top here, you see them spreading out in this modified diamond position. It actually looks almost like a 1-3-1 right here. So you have one guy down on the guy from the goaltender, one guy in the middle on this floater. There is another Penguin up to the be the right defensive dot, kind of, I believe. And it looks like Cylinder's going out to the top. Once again, this should be a penalty kill scenario. Not saying that Cylinder's not a quality guy. I'm just saying, looking at who else we have out there at this time, it was a bit of a tough ask of this particular lineup. Especially with I don't know. If you look at the clock right now, 20 seconds left in the game. 20 seconds. All right, you just gotta hold it together, and you win. And you hold it together, and you win. All right. So they go from that 1-3-1, and if you look what happens here, so they're gonna break this 1-3-1. Like I mentioned, there's two penguins down by the red line, and there is an unmanned guy right here when there's 6 skaters on the ice for the other team. So yeah, they're playing more of a zone, like I said, but totally unmanned, just chilling out here. That's Brennan Gauntz right there. And 2 seconds later, watch this. So we go down, we go right at 15 and a half seconds. Look where these 3 guys are, holding each other's pockets, holding each other's hands. I understand that should collapse, but like I don't know if they're not realizing how far back the guys behind them are, because here in the middle they're leaving this giant gap right here where there's 3 unmanned guys, where it's a 3 looking at 2. All right.
Nice.
So wherein lies the problem here? If anything happens, any sort of bounce back, any sort of rebound, the Penguins are going to get in. They're going to shoot it and they're going to score. Almost guaranteed. We're at 15 seconds. All you have to do is keep your head, and when you collapse towards the goal more, leave one guy. I'm not an expert here, okay? I'm just saying like what I'm seeing. And this was wrong. So I'm going to skip forward just a little bit. So then what happens here? Boom. Pass down to the red line where the guy was wide open, like we were just talking about. A pass right into the middle. And boom, you have a shot on goal from like 10 feet away, 15 feet away. Just a rocket from a guy who's wide open, unchallenged, no stick on his stick, no one getting in the way. Because down here, the other Penguin guy, who someone had on him, or someone was on him, he got in the way of the guy who could have possibly helped save that. No, literally all that needed happening was one of the guys from the top. Who's that, number 8? Is that what I can't quite see who that is. I'm losing it. Yeah. Is that Werenski? It looks like a number 8. I can't quite tell. I'm trying to figure that out right now. Sorry. But if maybe he could have like collapsed a little bit, or the center guy here who would have been looks like Miles Wood would have collapsed backwards a little bit or something. I don't know. I'm just saying this is basically a wide open rip 5 feet from the goal. Like, holy shit. So that's why the Penguins tied it. And I'm not going to go into the analysis of the overtime goal because shit. Well, I mean, if he was any sort of mad or miffed or at the Blue Jackets, at least Chinikov got his revenge point back on him. He got an assist on that goal from Crosby there at the very end. It was Chinikov, Carlson, and Crosby, and who connected for that goal. Yeah, penalty kill, pretty great. That moment there. I'm not sure why you have Miles Wood and Brennan Gauntz out there. It's you have seconds left in the game. I mean, granted, maybe there wasn't a great time for a line change at some point, but that's a penalty kill situation, and I just don't think that maybe them and even Sillinger at the moment, like I that's not the way I would have done it. Kind of maybe like a kind of an asshole thing to say, but it's what it is. It's what I see. It's what I see. Maybe I'm a little bit wrong. You can tell me in the comments. Let me know. Let's talk a little shit. Yeah, Dmitry Vonkov got the tripping call on Chinikov too. I saw Chinikov and Marchenko were talking at the center line before game as well. Yeah, another multi-point game from Zach Werenski. I think that's his 5th multi-point game in a row or something like that. absolutely pulling out big for the team. But Zach Werenski cannot do everything all the time, every single time. So, yeah, I'm trying hard not to say 0 out of 10 because I'm so pissed about how that final goal happened. And then to give it up at home against the Penguins, shit. Blue Jackets won't get another chance at home against the Penguins this year. Currently, it is Blue Jackets have 1 win and 2 losses to the Penguins this year. They will meet again this month, January 17th in Pittsburgh. So I'm looking for some things to hopefully get me a little bit more heated,
Yeah.
playing with some meaning behind it. You got to tie up this divisional rival. You got to tie up this. They're not too far from the bottom themselves right now. Technically, no one is. There's like 11 points between the bottom and top in the East or some shit. Or Metro East. Yeah, that's insane to me. We're in the halfway point, and I mean, the Avalanche are a shoo-in for the West, but like we're still looking at. It's not a snowball's chance in hell. It's more like a snowball's chance in heck.
All right. Yeah. So.
It's bad, but there's a chance.
Yeah, there's a chance. So another thing a couple of things I'll say about this game, and then we can move on to other stuff, is that I've said this on the show before, and I'm going to say it again. I like Dean Evison, generally speaking. I like what he's done with the Blue Jackets, generally speaking. One thing I got to call him out for, his overtime lines are disgustingly awful, just terrible. I just, no. It speaking in generalities here, but the games we've seen in overtime where we have Matthew Olivier playing in overtime, we have a Charlie Coyle, Cole Sillinger, and we have third or fourth line guys that are out there, and it's like no, just no.
This is so bad. I want to play it for you. So here we're gonna have. I'm trying to.
It's just no. Like I'll just say this, and Hefty Duck can play it, but it's just no. Like every other shift, it should be something like Kirill Marchenko, Adam Fantilli, Kent Johnson, Zach Werenski, Denton Mateychuk. Give me a Mason Marchment, just guys that can put the puck in the net. Because honestly, in overtime, that's what you're trying to do. If you got to put guys like Charlie Coyle or Boone Jenner or whatnot, I get it because, they're good at face-offs. Win the face-off and then get off the ice. Because that is what the Blue Jackets used to do with Brandon Dubinsky all the time. Brandon Dubinsky, he was really good at face-offs when he was playing with the Blue Jackets. And the Blue Jackets would have games where it would go to overtime. And what would the Blue Jackets do? They would have Brandon Dubinsky go out there, win the face-off. And as soon as he did that, Brandon Dubinsky passed the puck to one of his teammates. And after that, Brandon Dubinsky was off the ice. And they put someone else out there. And they had some success with it. They would score goals. They'd win by doing that. That's what it should be doing with some of these guys. If you need to win a face-off or some other thing, I get it. But as soon as that is done, get them off the ice. I need guys that I know I can count on to score goals. I'm trying to win this game here. And generally speaking, for the most part, that's been under Dean Evison, that's been awful this season. It's just like, why? Why is that guy out there? Just terrible. You need your offensive guys out there on a consistent basis because I look at what other teams are doing, and that's what they're doing. It's every other shift, they're putting their top guys out there. Rest them for a bit, and then they're right back out there. And it needs, in my opinion, it needs to be the same exact thing for when the Blue Jackets are in overtime.
Yeah, and we're looking at this situation right here. To further your point, we have on the ice currently Provorov, he's going for the puck right now. We have Charlie Coyle, who you're going to see going for a line change before the puck is secured, either going towards the other side or dumped in or something. And then all the way on the opposite side from the bench, you're going to see Cole Sillinger. And just watch how Cole Sillinger and Provorov skate towards the puck once it's turned over. So Provorov's going for it. Boom, turned over. Okay, so we have Coyle just not even paying attention. He's like, fuck it, I'm just going to go off. And the puck is still on this side of the blue line. Okay? So we have Coyle just looking over here, lollygagging. Sillinger, nowhere to be seen. He's somewhere on the opposite side. So pass up. So now, if we look, we have Coyle stopping before the line change. So he's still gassed. And we have two guys on we have the Penguins on a line change. So that guy's already in front of Coyle. So now the play is happening as a 2-on-1 against Cole Sillinger. Overoff's still up looking at the guy who was up ice who just passed it. Coyle's now turning around. So how fast you're going when you turn around? You're stopping. You're at a dead stop. He'll try his best. So he's pumping. Puck crosses the line. Everyone's on sides. Everything's good. Cole Sillinger right here playing man defense. Great. Boom. Passes behind it, wide open. Cole Sillinger turns, and he has a little bit of momentum here, but he just stopped. Look at the way Provorov is positioned right here. He's just standing, knees barely bent, not even like an athletic stance, like not even like looking like he's trying to pump backwards at all. He's just looking at people again in the middle of the ice. Bam. That's Crosby, I believe. Picks up the puck. One on none. Just one-on-one with the keeper. This is watch Cole Sillinger. I mean, what you should be even if you can't quite get there at all, you need to be diving for this. You need to be sprawled Superman out diving for this. This is the NHL, the national. Like you've been in it for years now. You're a pretty solid player, but look how far behind Coyle is. He's 10 feet behind. Provorov's out here in the middle of nowhere. Sillinger's out there in the middle of nowhere. What are you guys doing? Are you gassed? Because then here, okay, so I'm just going to play a very short little bit of this clip. Here goes Sillinger. Boom. One pump, coast. Dude, hook him. You know what? Like, this is giving a penalty shot to Crosby is favorable in this situation because it's a predictable shot. It's a predictable thing compared to letting him getting to Greaves. Well, Greaves is a little bit less prepared. On a penalty shot, Greaves is 100% prepared. He's looking straight at him the whole time, right? With this, no wonder he gets beat. And look where he gets shot. Okay, so Sillinger, why are you not diving? Where's your stick not close to hooking him? Why are you not trying to get that? He's just one pump. Here, you should be diving right there, going for it, cutting off his ability to go right even any further. Nothing. Provorov's back there coasting. Coyle still pumping, still trying to get there. He's not going to, but comes in. And so if he would have dove and slid to Crosby's right here, this would have been the blocked off point. Wave your stick around. Hit him. Like you're going to lose the game. This isn't. You're going to lose. This is the win here. You're talking about. It's not the second goal of the game or something like that. Where you're up 2-4 now. You're going to lose. So boom. 5-hole. Right in the 5-hole. Because looks like Greaves is worried about him going up. But because Crosby was able to get so far to the right here. Boom. It's going to be a slow-mo kind of thing of it. He just coast. What are you doing right here? Like, I don't mean to just single you out, Cole Sillinger, but no offense at all. I don't think that you should be out there on the power play as it is. Power play, the overtime, fantastic player. Just what is this?
Mhm.
So I don't know. It's just something that I was watching. Those last two goals from the Penguins were just abysmal. I mean, shit. Coyle had so much momentum. He just flew right past the goal. He's over there, and we see a couple, piston colored jerseys there, waving their arms up and down. Just kind of hard to see when you've been in the league for a while now. Pretty solid overall. Got quite a few points this season so far. I think that I don't know. What are your thoughts on this goal, Kev? I know that you were literally just talking a little bit about it, but after just going through the replay and seeing how lackadaisical it was, do you have any comments?
It's just stupid and idiotic because it just overtime lines are generally speaking are awful, and then it's just like 3-on-3 overtime. There is very, very few mistakes that you can make. It's a very thin margin of error. You don't have a lot of room to screw up. You can't be doing stupid stuff. A bad play, bad pass, you shoot and it's wide of the net and then the puck goes the other way. You make a bad line change. It screws you. You can't do stuff like that. You can't leave the best player wide open like that. Much like, Adam Fantilli, he scored that awesome game-winning goal in overtime against Toronto. Why did that happen? Because strategically, Toronto they didn't do a very good job defensively. They just let him just blow right past him. Like, it's little stuff like that can make the difference.
Yeah.
If you just the goal that Adam Fantilli scored in overtime against the Ducks, it's 1-on-3. 99% of the time, that is not a goal. Generally speaking, under no circumstance should that happen if you're the Ducks. But it did happen because the Ducks, it was bad defensively. Like, you outnumber him. Like, get on him. Put a stop to that. Which is what happens 9 times out of 10. But then the one time the Ducks didn't do that, they got screwed. Adam Fantilli cooks them 1 versus 3. He shoots and scores. Blue Jackets win. Blue Jackets benefit from that. You just no very few margin of error, very little room. You can't be doing stupid stuff. Everything just has to be right. And that means with the line changes, the overtime lines you're using, and just you shoot it, it better hit the net. There's just so much that has to be done right. And if you don't, stuff like that happens. And it's gone against the Blue Jackets in that instance. And there's times where the team playing against the Blue Jackets strategically does something really stupid, and it's benefited the Blue Jackets. It just needs to be better. Better overtime lines, and it just needs to be better.
And I don't know, if Sillinger was gassed there yet or whatnot too, but like, you think you're tired. Jack Greaves had 38 saves. For example, both the games before this, the other team didn't even have 38 shots.
Yeah.
So 38 saves of 43 shots on his 6th straight start on the second of a back-to-back within like a week.
Mm-hmm.
He's out there doing the Lord's work. He's doing great. In overtime, you're gonna just like let someone rip a shot on some guy who's that tired right now. Like, come on, dude. I don't know. It's a little confusing from the outside looking in. Obviously, you're never gonna know what is exactly going through someone's head, like what's exactly going through, Dean Evson's head with lines. What is what are the assistants saying? What's all that kind of shit going on? It's really hard to tell. But like right now, I'm a little bit at a loss on specifically the lines in OT and for the I don't know, just for the special teams in general sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway. So I would like to say this. We've talked about this on the show before, but there was this thing that it was like, oh no, Ohio State plays at the same time, just about as the same time as the Blue Jackets. That means you're going to have to change the start time of the Blue Jackets because of Ohio State, which that to begin with is stupid and idiotic to begin with, because no, you don't change the start time. Columbus is an awesome sports town. It's big enough to support both, and it's shown that time and time again. The Blue Jackets Columbus has had it where the Clippers crew and Blue Jackets have played at the same time. Columbus has had it where the Blue Jackets and the crew have played at the same time. Columbus has had it where the Blue Jackets and Ohio State has played at the same time. And guess what? It worked out well. No one changed start times. You did not have to do that. So, again, and then that thing popped up again this past New Year's Eve. Ohio State is playing the same time as the Blue Jackets. Better change the start of the Blue Jackets game. Again, stupid and idiotic. Because Columbus is big enough to support both. They've shown that time and time again. And what do you know? The Blue Jackets didn't change the start time. And guess what? Good crowd at the Blue Jackets game. Because Columbus supports their teams. It's an awesome sports town. Columbus knows how to do sports. Good crowd at the Blue Jackets game. And yes, Ohio State, their bowl game was down in Texas, so it wasn't a home game. But yes, Ohio State also got good support from that as well. So that's another example of Columbus being an awesome sports town. And I never, ever, ever, ever want to hear about, Ohio State plays the same time as the Blue Jackets, and we got to change the start time of the Blue Jackets game. No, wrong, unacceptable. That's stupid, idiotic, because you're not paying attention then. Look around you. Look at what Columbus is today. Columbus, awesome town, awesome city, a great place to be, so much to do. Blue Jackets and the crew and the Clippers and Ohio State and Short North and German Village. You got the Columbus Zoo. You got North Market. You got so much going on. You don't need to change start times anymore. Columbus is big enough to support all the teams. We're an awesome sports town. And if you still have this mindset of, we got to change the start because of Ohio State, you need to knock it off and stop that immediately. Stop that stupid, idiotic nonsense. Because you need to change the way that you see Columbus. Years ago, when Ohio State was basically the only game in town, then yes, that mindset made more sense. In today's world, in 2026, that mindset does not even come close to making sense. It just doesn't. Change how you view Columbus. For some of you, you need to do it. You need to do it. Columbus is just so much more than Ohio State in today's world. There's a lot going on. Columbus, great place to be now. It's not a cow town, which it was with only Ohio State. That's a cow town thinking. Oh, we only care about Ohio State, and we have to change it because of Ohio State. No, unacceptable. You don't think like that. You don't think like that. Columbus is big enough to support everyone now. You don't need to change times. You just have to say, you know what? Sometimes, hey, if it's like Ohio State and the Blue Jackets, some people are just going to go to Ohio State. Some people are going to go to the Blue Jackets. If it's Crew and Clippers on the same day, some people are going to do the Clippers. Some people are going to do the Crew. Or Crew and Blue Jackets this past February. Some people are going to do the Crew. Some people are going to go to the Blue Jackets game. That's how it is. No more of this mindset of just, we got to change the time because of Ohio State. No, unacceptable. Get rid of that mindset. Change how you view Columbus. Columbus is a great place to be. We support our teams. We can do it at the same time. No more thinking, we got to change it because of Ohio State, because that's not Columbus anymore. There's so much going on in Columbus. Stop thinking, we got to change it because of Ohio State, because it doesn't work like that anymore. There's so much going on in Columbus, and Columbus is able to support both at the same time. So that's all I got to say for now. We'll get Hefty back in here.
Oh, I don't have too much comment on this. I'm just it just makes me laugh a little bit how concerned people still are about it. One of my favorite times in Columbus for a game was 2 years ago on St. Patrick's Day. It was crazy. So there was a Crew game down the road.
Yep.
And the Crew had won, and the Blue Jackets had won.
Yeah.
And both games were letting out like at the same time.
Yeah.
And so the street was filled with just tons and tons of fans, like all happy, all celebrating, but then also like the extra St. Patty's Day crowd. And that was a really cool vibe.
Yeah.
Having all the Crew fans, all the Blue Jackets fans, and everyone in between just out there celebrating. So bring it on. Bring all the games in the same day. It's not like Ohio State played in Columbus anyway.
No, but something similar to that actually kind of happened in March of 2020. The Crew had a home game, and then Ohio State basketball played, and then the Blue Jackets had the night game. And there were people that legitimately made a day out of it. They went to the Crew game, they went to the Ohio State basketball game, and then they went to the Blue Jackets game. And Dave Holmes, who was working at 10 TV at the time, of course, he's with ABC 6 News now, but when he was at 10 TV, he actually did a story on that where he interviewed people that went to the Crew game and then the Ohio State basketball game and then the Blue Jackets game at night. And that was a cool day, a once-in-a-lifetime experience that probably is not going to happen again, where everything just lined up like that. And to make that day even better, all three teams won. The Crew won, Ohio State basketball won, and the Blue Jackets won. So that sort of thing has happened where it's like Ohio State, Crew, Blue Jackets on the same day. But let's be honest here. That's probably a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. That's probably never happening again. But it has happened.
Well, it matters even less when, the Buckeyes lose.
Oh, God, that New Year's Eve.
Like, are you shitting me?
I know.
Like, all this pitching and moaning, and then you don't even win the game.
Yeah.
You can't win both in 1 year, Ryan Day. You can't win both Cincinnati and beat Michigan. What's wrong, dude?
Come on.
Get it both. I know someone else who did it like 7 times. Figure it out. I mean, glad you beat Michigan. Good for you.
Yes.
Seriously, man, like
Hell yeah.
could have done both. Just gotta throw a little shade.
Yeah, I know. But that New Year's Eve 2025 was a 1 out of 10 for me because the only saving grace behind that is I got to go out to a restaurant with my family, which was good, and I went grocery shopping at Woodman's, one of my favorite grocery store, which is good, and I got some good stuff. But other than that, it was just just poop, terrible because Blue Jackets unfortunately lost, and then I'm like, I wonder what the Ohio State's doing. And I was like, oh, okay. Never mind. You kind of just poop your pants there. Man, it just that just sucked. But oh well. Ugh. And the last 3 times Ohio State has had a bowl game on New Year's Eve, they lost all 3. So, like, maybe if I'm Ohio State, I'm just like, you know what? Thanks, but no thanks. I don't want a bowl game on New Year's Eve. Just no. So it's not a good New Year's Eve from a sports perspective because Ohio State pooped their pants and the Blue Jackets unfortunately lost. Not good. Not good.
Yeah, rough. Really freaking rough. And then, sorry to Bengals fans. I know it's been a rough year for y'all. I don't even know if I'm happy about that the Browns won or not.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was getting a little distracted with other sports here, but it's Ohio sports. So.
It's Ohio sports. We talk about Ohio sports,
Fancy, so at least they're making moves, I guess. I don't know. I still call myself a Browns viewer. Not really much of a Browns fan at this point.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Shit, dude. Well, we got anything else going on?
Yeah. So yeah, we do. I want to talk about this because last show we did talk about this a little bit, but I really liked the outdoor game that was down in Florida. I watched not all the game, but a good chunk of that game, and it was cool. The fact is that you played an outdoor hockey game down in Florida, and you somehow found a way to make it happen and just get it done was awesome. Because I like many people, when you hear the news that there's going to be 2 outdoor games down in Florida for this season, you're like, okay, how the heck is that going to work? Like seriously, how is that going to work? How is that going to work? Because, it's Florida, and Florida's really hot, and hockey's a cold weather sport. So, like, how are you going to do that down in Florida outside? But you know what? Credit to the NHL. They found a way to get it done, and it looked really cool down there to be watching an outdoor hockey game on TV in Florida. They found a way to get it done, and it was just awesome.
I'm a little bit torn here, so I'm gonna say what I liked and then what I didn't like about it. I like that it happened. I do think it's really cool that they pulled off an outdoor game in, on average, like the hottest state in the United States, or has the hottest parts of it down near Miami area where this was.
Yeah.
Really cool. In saying that, and and talking about how warm Florida is, I totally understand why they did this kind of like in a dome kind of type setting. But I guess that's the only other thing I didn't quite like. I don't know, like the Winter Classic. A lot of it to me, I guess there's 2 ways you can look at it. Some people look at it as like it's an homage to old school pond hockey.
Yes.
And that in the northern states that has a level connected with like a nostalgia level with being young or ice skating out there. So in the southern states, they don't really have that.
Yeah.
So looking at it this way, yes, it's not looking at the past of pond hockey. It's looking at the future of hockey in Florida, and this being such a an event, it's a big event, and a lot of advertising for this. Bringing that to a place and maybe bring it to some people who might not have otherwise pay attention to it as much, especially being in Florida.
Yeah.
So, it being kind of like an advertisement for the NHL, like, basically a watch our sport more. Like this is a very unique thing. So, just that it was possible was really cool. It did not connect with me on a nostalgic level or anything um, like others that have in the past. And real quick, let's talk about like the Panthers they're kind of falling off a bit, but the East is so close. The East is so tough,
Well,
So
yeah.
how can you really? They're 21-16-3. Rangers after that game are right now they're like 20-18-5. And the Panthers, in case anyone didn't watch too much of this, the Panthers lost 5-1.
Yeah.
Like that is the former Senate Cup or President Cup winners last year, right?
Yeah.
Won the President's Cup. And dude, that's not good. That's real not good.
It just comes down to this. So I watched a good chunk of that game, and it's just like they kind of, let's be honest here, the Panthers did Sergei Bobrovsky kind of dirty. They kind of hung him out to dry in a lot of those goals. They were not playing good defense in front of him. And again, I'm a big Blue Jackets guy, and generally speaking, I don't pay that much attention to other hockey teams besides the Blue Jackets. I will say this, though. You can start to see it. The Panthers have been in the Stanley Cup final the last 3 seasons. And at a certain point, that starts to catch up to you and take its toll. And you're tired, and you're just not as good. And from an outsider perspective, in my opinion, it certainly looks like that's what's happening to the Panthers. They're still good, but not as good because they played in the last 3 Stanley Cup finals and playing all of that hockey, and then you don't have a very long off season. That's the one negative thing of playing in the Stanley Cup final is that you go from, October to June, and then you're asked to say, all right, next season's coming up pretty quick here. I need you to quickly turn it around and get ready for next season. And that's hard enough one season as it is. You have asked the Panthers to do that 3 times. And that's hard. And at some point, that's going to catch up to you. And it just doesn't look like that. They're just as good, and they're tired from playing in all that hockey the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at it this way too, I'm talking a little bit of shit about Florida here, but in all reality, they're 5 points out of the top of the East. Like Tampa Bay and Carolina are at the top with 53 points each. And we have Montreal, Detroit with 52 each. So Florida has 47 points, and they're like the there's literally everyone's within 3 points at that point. The Blue Jackets are behind a little bit more than that. They're 4 points back from Florida, but Florida is just right in the dead middle. They're behind Washington by 1 point. They're in the dead middle of the East, just one spot to the bottom part of the half. That's it. So but what we're seeing here too is we're seeing another quality good team, and how hard the NHL is starting to become when other teams they're starting to like we were talking about earlier with other players. The book's out.
Yep.
Book's out on the coach and the players and Paul Maurice, and I think other teams are learning from that too and implementing those similar things.
Yep.
Because Florida kind of did it just a little bit, not really out of nowhere, but they were kind of I feel like they're I always forgot about the Panthers. I just forgot about them up until a few years ago. It started, then all of a sudden you can't stop hearing about them. It's what the hell.
Yeah.
Anyway, so gotta talk a little bit of shit, but in all reality, they're not doing that bad.
No. So
Points percentage, they're in fourth,
yeah.
but actual points, they're down there.
All right. So next up, so this is brought up because it was held the most recent outdoor game was held in a baseball stadium. Jason, from a friend of the show, from Jason Newen, the Hockey News, he's a Blue Jackets writer. He responded, and they showed a picture of what it looks like there down in Florida. And because it's a baseball stadium, most of the views there are not very good because it's not made. Baseball stadiums are especially not made for outdoor hockey games. That the sight lines and just the configuration is not good. And someone responded to Jason's tweet saying that they were at the outdoor game this past season in Chicago at Wrigley Field, and these were his seats. As you can see, those seats are awful because it's not made for baseball stadiums. Are not made for hockey. And so my advice is if you ever get a ticket to an outdoor hockey game, this is what you need to do. Do not sit low. You need to sit up high in the upper deck so that you can see everything. Because, for example, it's just better that way because look, this is a picture from the Blue Jackets outdoor game. This is in the upper deck. Notice how everything looks better. How you can see everything. You're getting better views. You sit down low, it's not going to be very good. Because admittedly, football stadiums are better for outdoor hockey games compared to baseball. So even if you sit down low, you're going to get better views, but it's still not going to be very good. So if you go to an outdoor game, you need to get your tickets up high. Sit up high because it's much better that way and you can see everything.
Yeah, I mean the one thing there that they could have done. So one thing the shoe has going for it is simply the shape of it too. I mean, it's on a football field, so it's obviously got the rounded end to it, and a hockey arena is rectangular shaped with rounded edges. It worked out really well for that. But then, yeah, because I mean, the baseball field, you're gonna have some seats that are so far away, and then when you're down low, even if, because I think I was talking about this with somebody, I don't remember who, but talked about having clear sides on the bottom.
Yeah.
So like you'd see like through the bottom. Now I don't know if that would mess with depth perception, especially like you can like watch the puck go along. Like you could still have the yellow along the bottom, but like you don't see the puck highlighted against the white of the wall.
Yeah.
When they launch the puck in the air, sometimes like you just lose it because it goes like the puck up against the crowd. I mean, it's black on dark crowd, or just a sea of people. So I mean that's one thing to note, I guess, about these outdoor games. I think, like I said, that's part of what looks like made this one so good is because of that. I'm a firm believer too. I don't really sit on the glass or lower bowl at NHL games. I will occasionally if I go stick the monsters, like maybe, but if if there's not some people out there who like haven't gone to a ton of games, like the seats in the lower part are more expensive. You are closer to the action. But the thing is then too, I mean, you can't really see fully everything that's going on. Excuse me, hold on, give me just 1 second to clear. Okay, so when you're below the glass line, or even like right at the glass line, there's an obstruction in your view almost at all times. And if you're in the middle, when you look left and you look right, when they get close to the corners or like close to the boards too, you end up having to look up at the screen anyway, so you actually see the action going on because you can't see all the way down the corners. If you're on the corner, it's kind of awkward. So, I don't know. This picture, I think you're right. It highlights one, how many people were there. Like, holy shit, that place is packed. And then two, how good of a sight line. Like, you're still pretty far away. Yeah, you're further away than you would be in a normal hockey arena, but you still see well. You can see what's going on.
Yep.
Pretty cool. I think that this one will be hard to top.
Oh,
the Ohio one, the DSU is going to be one of the hardest ones to top.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not just saying it because I'm biased and I like the Blue Jackets, and I was there, and it was a great game and everything, and the Blue Jackets win 5-3 and all that sort of stuff. But it was just perfect. It's everything that you could have wanted for an outdoor game. It was a good game. Blue Jackets win 5-3. Awesome atmosphere. You pick Ohio State's football stadium, which is one of the most iconic venues in college football and sports in general. Great place to see a game. It was just awesome. And then you perfectly balance the whole Ohio State theme with the Blue Jackets, and you have the Ohio State band playing music when the Blue Jackets score a goal, and they play music during the game, and it was just awesome. And you set an attendance record for you set an attendance record for second highest ever attended game in hockey history. You set a TV record for that was the best rated TV game for outdoor hockey for a stadium series since 2019. It was just so good. The world got to see what awesome place Columbus was, and what Ohio State is about, and what the Blue Jackets are about. It was awesome. My brother's not much of a hockey guy to begin with. Like he's not going to go out of his way to watch a hockey game on TV, but if you give him tickets to a hockey game, he'll go. And even he said, because he was at the Blue Jackets outdoor game with me, and even my brother said that was awesome, and even he loved it. It was just that good. This is a moment that you're going to be looking back at years from now and being like, hey, man, do you remember the Blue Jackets outdoor game? It's like, yeah, I remember that. That was cool. Hey, where were you? That a where were you moment. I was watching it on TV, and it was cool to see and all this other stuff. Or, hey, man, I was at the game, and it was awesome, and the Blue Jackets won 5-3, and really cool. Just an awesome atmosphere, and I do agree with Hefty Duck. I just have a hard time believing or just seeing how you could beat this one, because this outdoor game that the Blue Jackets had was that good.
Yeah, buddy.
And,
Well,
and of
we're getting
course,
kind of close to the end here. I gotta get.
These are, of course, this is a picture from my seats.
Oh, right on. Cool.
Just to show that, like, again, you're up high, and how you can see everything so much better.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Do you have anything else that you want to talk about real quick here? I gotta get going here before too long. We're getting close to the end.
Yeah. So
I just want to sneak in here.
Yeah, so we got some goals from Blue Jackets prospect Caden Lindstrom and Jackson Smith to play here. We'll do that. Okay. So we got Jackson Smith. He's a defenseman, plays for Penn State, and he's a Blue Jackets prospect. And he's going to have a puck up high, and he's going to shoot it, score, and he's just going to blow it past the goalie. Oh, boy. Yeah, put it on the bingo card. I didn't forget to put it up on the screen. Got to put that thing up on the screen. There you go. All right. Well, I didn't do what Hefty Duck did, but the point is it's up on the screen. Anyway, so here we go. Here's the goal by Blue Jackets prospect Jackson Smith, who plays at Penn State. So he's going to get the puck up high, shoot, score, and just blow it past the goalie. Awesome shot by Jackson Smith.
Hell yeah, pretty sick. There is a pretty gnarly hit in this one too that he did.
He also did a
Sure.
big, yes, he also
Yeah.
did a big hit. I'm going to find that so we can put that up.
I shared it on my Twitter.
Yeah, so you could, so you could put it
Yeah,
up.
I got it right here.
But we'll play this one more time here. But so here at Jackson Smith, he gets it, and then he's just going to blow it past the goalie. And the one thing that does stand out about Jackson Smith is that he's good skating, good defensively, but he can shoot it. He can shoot the puck where he's got like a slap shot where he can blow it past people. So like if he can keep going on that trajectory, on that path, he's going to be a real good prospect for the Blue Jackets. I could see him, if he continues this trajectory and that awesome shot, where that could be a big time weapon to use on the power play, where you could just have him set him up for a big shot on the power play where you just blow it past the goalie slap shot. So overall, pretty good goal here. Hefty Duck has the hit that Jackson Smith did, so he'll put that up on the screen.
Yeah, so he almost puts him into his bench right here. Here we go. I'm gonna mute it. I don't know what kind of music there is on this, so
Yeah.
Here we go. Boom. Keep your head up.
Yep.
Keep your head up, bro. Because look, he's not even going that fast when he gets into him. He doesn't explode too hard upwards. He literally stands up to push him an even level, and dude just flops like that. It's simply dude, keep your head up.
Yep.
Look, he just turns. He's not even looking. What are you doing? And everyone around him too. I think that it's to the very front of him, the shoulder to shoulder. I think that's a clean hit. Even the guys on the team, none of them are yelling at. None of them are yelling at Will Smith for this. The team, they're well, it's a there's no penalty. There's no penalty for that. So I just wanted to show the physical nature of the dude. He's a pretty big dude too.
He's 6'3".
Your kid here.
Yeah, I think he's 6'3", 6'4", 200 plus pounds.
Yeah. Dude's looking right at him too.
Yeah.
He barely even moved. Dude just toppled. Brutal.
Yeah.
He just kind of looks at the other team while they're on their bench, well,
yeah.
See you guys.
Yeah.
Right, that was pretty dope.
All right, so on to the next thing. We'll put this up on the screen. Blue Jackets prospect Caden Lindstrom, who plays for Michigan State, got a big goal recently in one of Michigan State's games, and we're going to play that goal and put that up on the screen. So, go put that up on the screen. So here we go. We're going to play it. And here we go. So good puck moving. It goes up high. It goes right here. He's going to move it down, down low. And then Caden Lindstrom is open here, and he's going to shoot and score. We'll play that 2 more times here. So, maybe we'll get Hefty Duck's thoughts on this too. The puck moving up high to the side, and then Lindstrom's in the middle, open, shoots, and scores. So, one more time. One more time, and what you thinking there, Hefty Duck?
Caden Smith just looks like he's shaping up to be a pretty solid hockey player all around.
Yeah, Caden Lindstrom, look at him. Bam.
What a bam. Nice little, he's tall as hell too out there. I mean, look at him. He's towering out over like everybody, except for number 15. Pretty big dude.
He's
Down to the knee for that one-timer. Oof. Pretty sick. Love to see it.
He has good puck movement at the top, then to the side, and quickly get it to him. So that was pretty good. And let's see, Caden Lindstrom. He is, I want to say he's like 6'4", 220-ish. And he's only like 18, 19. So, like, he still has time to grow to where possibility that he could be like 6'5", 6'6", 225, 230. Which, if that's the case, have fun playing against that. With him and Adam Fantilli, Voronkov, and others, that's going to be a big team to play against. So have fun opposing teams. But anyways, so good goal by Blue Jackets prospect Caden Lindstrom. So we'll do like 2 more things here, and then we'll say our stuff and get out of here. So, Josh Dunn from the band 21 Pilots, who's from Columbus, was seen at a Blue Jackets game about like a couple seasons ago. So that's great to see the Blue Jackets getting support from Josh Dunn, the drummer from the band 21 Pilots, who's from Columbus. And they also played at the Blue Jackets outdoor game, and they like the Blue Jackets. So that's great to see Josh Dunn from 21 Pilots showing up at a Blue Jackets game. And also, Josh Dunn and his wife, back in December, had their first kid, a daughter. So that's cool. So shout out to Josh Dunn and his wife for that. But also, I have a question for you, Josh Dunn. I know you're a big Blue Jackets guy and you like going to Blue Jackets games. Will you be taking your daughter to any Blue Jacket games? Will you be passing on that tradition, as many people do, where your grandpa went to a game and then he takes your dad to a game and then your dad takes you to a game and then you grow up and then you get married and have kids and then you take your kids to games and then it becomes generational and it just keeps going on and on and on. So, Josh Dunn, I know you're a big Blue Jackets guy and you like going to Blue Jackets games. So, will you be taking your daughter to a Blue Jackets game? That's what I wonder. But anyways, good to see Josh Dunn from the band 21 Pilots, who are from Columbus and have good music, and played at the Blue Jackets outdoor game, showing support for the Blue Jackets at a Blue Jackets game.
Would be sick. I'd love to see it.
Yes. All right. I got one last thing for me. Let's see here. I've talked about this before, and I'm going to talk about it again. Color Rush. Make it happen. I want color versus color matchups. It's becoming more and more of a thing in hockey. This particular picture is from the 2020-2021 season when the Blue Jackets played in a game in Columbus against Nashville, when the Blue Jackets wore blue and Nashville wore yellow. And it was awesome. And I want to see more of this. Obviously, we've seen other color rush matchups. The Blackhawks wore red and the Rangers wore blue, and the Rangers wore blue and the Red Wings wore red. So that was cool. And obviously the Blue Jackets wearing blue and Nashville wearing yellow. So we've also seen Ohio State hockey play Michigan, where Ohio State wore red and Michigan wore yellow. We've seen Michigan play Michigan State, where Michigan wears green and Michigan wears yellow, where Michigan State wears green and Michigan wears yellow. We've seen it where Penn State wears blue and the Minnesota Golden Gophers wear yellow. You know,
Yeah.
more color rush. I want to see it. That's fun. This is a fun way to bring attention to hockey as color versus color matchups. More color rush, just like what the Blue Jackets in Nashville did right here, where the Blue Jackets wear blue and Nashville wears yellow.
So, yeah, there's a rumor going around right now.
Yeah.
Have you seen the NHL-wide City Connect style jerseys could be
Yep.
coming in 2026, 27, and there's a rumor list. It's a rumor, and now I have a huge bone to pick with this.
Yeah.
The rumor for the Blue Jackets is gray. Okay,
Awesome.
so do you know
No.
in the Civil War who wore gray? The Confederate soldiers.
Yeah.
They're literally called the Blue Jackets
Yeah.
after the Union blue soldiers.
That wore blue.
If you put them in gray, I'm burning the jersey.
Yeah.
God, I don't care how cool it is. Don't put them in gray. In gray? Are you shitting me? Of all the colors, you could put them back in red, and I bitch about it, but I'm not gonna burn the jersey. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like you can hear like Detroit Red Wings have red, Anaheim Ducks have green. That's a throwback, right? Like, if you're gonna choose like any, like seriously, gray of all colors,
No.
one, it's incredibly boring. I mean, I'm literally wearing gray right now. I know. Like, it's if your name's the Blue Jackets, you cannot be wearing gray.
Blue needs to be blue.
You can't be wearing gray. I don't care if they were like I said, like, dude, I would bitch less about white, but like if it's gray, I'm pitching a fucking fit, dude. That's stupid. That's dumb. Anyway, rant over. Thanks for coming on Head Talk.
No, I agree with you there, Hefty Duck. Like, your name is the Columbus Blue Jackets. I'll say that again. Your name is the Columbus Blue Jackets. Blue is your main color, and you need to be wearing blue, you know, because you're named after the Union soldiers that fought in the Civil War to end slavery. And those soldiers wore blue jackets. So blue has to be the main color. And any circumstance, you should not be wearing gray. Unacceptable. That's just no. It's just historically inaccurate, but also wrong when you consider the fact that, like you said, Hefty Duck, your name is the Blue Jackets, and blue needs to be your main color that you're wearing. It needs to be the main color in all your graphics and promotional material. And, you know, when you're named the Blue Jackets after the Union soldiers that fought to end slavery in the Civil War that wore blue jackets, yeah, you need to wear blue because your name is the Blue Jackets, not gray. So,
And
no.
keep in mind, it is a rumor, I guess, but still, like still, if it's a rumor, I think the feedback should be don't do this. If they're like releasing a little rumor to see like what maybe people are thinking in case they make a big mistake again, like the fucking red throwbacks, reverse retros, like, dude, come on, don't do gray. Anyway, that's all I got.
So, color rush, do that, do color rush, just like what the Blue Jackets did here, where Nashville wears yellow and the Blue Jackets wear blue because it was really fun and cool.
And not gray.
Yeah, not gray. Blue. Anyways, that's besides the point. Okay, so that's the end of that, and Hefty Duck and I are going to say our stuff, and then we're going to get out of here. So we'll start with Hefty Duck, and then I'll say my stuff, and then, we'll get out of here.
Yeah, buddy. So, don't forget to like, subscribe. Let me start that over. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share wherever you're watching from. If you're watching us from Twitter, check us out on YouTube. We're trying to grow our YouTube channel a little bit more. Our biggest crowd being on Twitter. You guys have been rocking it. But yeah, big shout out to our audio listeners this year too. You guys have grown so much, and I'm thrilled that you listen to us. And I'm not the necessarily greatest public speaker, so I appreciate you that you listen to us and us rant and rave. If you too would like to listen to us, find us on Spotify, find us on YouTube, anywhere you can find podcast audio. Yeah, we are there. So check me out. I'm on Instagram at Lance Schrock Tattoos. I do tattoos and artwork. Check it out. Come get tattooed. If we don't have any sponsors here or anything like that, so the easiest way to support us, like I said, is to subscribe, share, give us a like wherever you're at. We appreciate every single one of you guys for being here tonight. That's it. I'm out.
All right. So, as I always do, got to give a shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc, the best of the best. What a guy. Love that guy. So good. So good. Loved hanging out with you at family get-togethers and family birthday parties and holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter and so much more. Love talking hockey with you. You're a big Blackhawks guy. I like the Blue Jackets, and we talk about hockey and how we think our teams are doing. But the Blue Jackets became your second favorite team because of me, and that's cool, and I appreciate that, and I thank you for that. And you had one of your favorite hats that you like wearing is a blue camo Blue Jackets hat. And I got that hat for you when I was on a big Ohio trip in January 2020. I went to Cincinnati, Columbus, and Canton. And when I was in Columbus, I saw two Blue Jackets games and an Ohio State hockey game. And one of the Blue Jackets games was on Thursday night. And it was military night against the Carolina Hurricanes. And the giveaway was a blue camo Blue Jackets hat. We got 3 of them. I don't know why. Really, because it was just my dad and I at the game, and we only needed 2. But for whatever reason, when we got our tickets scanned going into the game, we walk up to the line to get your hat, and they gave us 3. I don't know why they gave us 3. We only needed 2, but we gave us 3. So it is what it is. And then my dad, he's just kind of, standing there like, okay, what are we going to do with this third hat? And he's like, oh, we'll give it to Doc. He would like it. He likes wearing hats, which is true. He did like wearing hats. As you can see in this picture right here, he's wearing a Cubs hat because the Chicago Cubs was his favorite baseball team. Love wearing hats. So we give this blue camo Blue Jackets hat to my awesome Uncle Doc. He loved wearing that hat. It was one of his favorite hats. He also wore it a lot at his cooking job that he had. And he would always tell the story about how his fellow co-workers at his cooking job loved that hat. They'd say, oh, that's a cool hat. What's that? And you'd say, oh, thanks. It's a Blue Jackets hat. Hockey. My nephew gave this to me. So, and it's, oh, that's a cool hat. So, and I just got a kick out of that, how you told that story to me and how people loved your blue camo Blue Jackets hat. And it is a good hat because I still have mine, over 5 years later. But anyways, so shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc, the life of the party, a good guy, a fun guy to talk to. Love seeing you at parties like family get-togethers and birthday parties and holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter and so much more. I really, 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 really desperately miss you a lot. I really, really, really wish that you were still here so I could still talk some hockey with you and have a fun time with you and hang out with you and just see what's going on. You could tell me on how you think the Blackhawks are doing, and I could tell you on how I think the Blue Jackets are doing. So shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc. I wish you're still here. Shout out to my awesome Uncle Doc. Thank you for everything.
Oh yeah, rest in peace, Uncle Doc.
Okay, so last thing for me. Don't forget to check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. Union Blue Soldiers, it's a fun Blue Jackets themed fan group that I run. We do a lot of fun stuff like marches and so much more. Where, our marches where we bring people together to cheer on the Blue Jackets, get big crowds of like 80 to like 100 people. And when the Blue Jackets did it with us, it was like 200 to 300, closer to that. But it was a great time to bring Blue Jackets fans together. We've been on TV from ABC6 News, Clay Hall, to NBC4, Whitney Harding, to 10 TV, Adam King. The Blue Jackets have been there. Stinger has been there. People who throw like the T-shirts into the crowd, they're at Blue Jackets games, have been there. The marches that Union Blue Soldiers do have been on the scoreboard at Blue Jackets games. It's been in a ticket commercial on TV during Blue Jackets games. It's been talked about in the Columbus Dispatch. It's been talked about in 97.1 The Fan. So our marches are a great march. So you should check it out. Check out the marches that Union Blue Soldiers does. It's a great way to be with your fellow Blue Jackets fans and cheer on the Blue Jackets. We do it for every Blue Jackets home opener, and if the Blue Jackets make the playoffs, there will be a playoff march. So if you missed one, that's okay. There's going to be another one, whether that be the Blue Jackets home opener or a Blue Jackets playoff game. So check out the marches that Union Blue Soldiers does. Follow Union Blue Soldiers on all social media platforms. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. So that's it for me for now. So Hefty Duck and I have said our things, and we're going to get out of here. Until next time. Bye now.
See y'all. Have a good week.